Welcome to Roaming Norway. Today I am going to talk about why Norway is one of the best countries in the world to review cars. And it might not be what you think. There are so many reasons why Norway is a great country to review cars. And it's not only the EV adoption of Norway. Of course, that's a little bit important to get access to all types of cars, but Norway is also in a unique position in other senses, so I will go through that in this video. I will also talk a little bit about my new job that I have now, reviewing cars, and a little bit about running a business in Norway. And everything that I talk about is based on feedback on my previous video, where I talked about doing car reviews as a job. So I was a computer engineer before this, and I got tired of programming, really, and I wanted to do something else. So I did. I quit my job. I started a media company, AS, aksjeselskap, which means basically a limited liability company. So it is a proper company, and I have been running a limited liability company, or AS, earlier as well, so I know how you start a company, I know how you run it, I know how you deliver all the reports and accounting needed. I am very familiar with the process, so it wasn't any issue for me starting this new media company. This is my second company. The earlier company, I think I mentioned a little bit in the previous video, it was basically a commodities company, selling commodities. I stopped doing that really this year, seriously. I stopped doing it because I got tired of dealing with physical goods, to be honest. It is insanely tiresome doing that. And I also did it while being a computer engineer, so I didn't have time to develop the business and everything. No bankruptcies, no issues economically, but just I decided to not do this anymore. Very easy decision, to be honest. So now I only have my media company, which is the same structure as the commodities company, AS, or limited liability company. And I wanted to do a media company, and I wanted to review cars, specifically electric cars. That's my passion. I really like to just dive into electric cars, talk about all the specs, talk about the charging curves, and talk about all the things that are good with these cars that might not come through in all kinds of like motor journalists and stuff. They review cars the same way they review electric cars or combustion cars. They have the same formula. I think electric cars kind of need more in-depth. You need to explain if it's good on a road trip, you need to explain a bunch of stuff, and it's a pretty new technology if you look at it in a larger sense. And I think everyone will benefit from like in-depth reviews. And then people can find shorter reviews other places, but I like to go in-depth and talk a ton about these cars. And you can see all the electric cars around us. We have a Ford Capri in front of us, and this is kind of like a hint to what I'm going to talk about. Why does it make sense to start a media company in Norway talking about electric cars? Well, it is the car market in Norway. The car market in Norway is unique. We have access to Europe's cars. We have access to Porsche, Mercedes, BMW, Volkswagen, and all the subsidiaries of those. Everything is for sale in Norway at a pretty affordable price for electric cars. For combustion cars, it's insanely expensive due to taxes, but electric cars are affordable in Norway from these brands compared to other countries. And then, of course, we have the European market. That makes sense. Most places in the world have some European cars. Even China still has some European cars, right? And the US, of course, has more expensive trims, but they have European cars. Now, we also have American cars, at least a few. The one in front of us, I wouldn't call it an American car. It's built in Germany, but it's still an American brand. Ford is very prevalent in Norway. But we have the F-150 Lightning in Norway. That's not available in the rest of Europe except Switzerland, because they are not in the European Union. So we have some unique cars as well. And we of course have the Mustang Mach-E. We have had that for a long time. That has always been available in Europe though. But it's built in Mexico, I think. Anyway, that's one other car that we have access to. So we have quite a few of those American cars. And we of course had the SNX, and we had the earlier American Teslas as well. So the European car market, the American car market, available in Norway. Then we have the Chinese market, and Norway is in a very unique position for the Chinese market. Since Norway is outside the European Union, we don't have tariffs on those Chinese cars like the European Union recently imposed. This means that Chinese cars are cheaper in Norway than any other country in the world outside China, of course. So this means that some people will argue it's a level playing field where no one is tariffed, not the US, not the European cars, not the Chinese cars. This is only applicable to EVs, by the way, are not really taxed in Norway. They are affordable. Some people will say that this is a level playing field, and some people will say it's not because of state subsidiaries and stuff like that. Anyway, they are quite cheap in Norway compared to other European countries, and in the US you don't even get Chinese cars. So I think Norway is in a unique position from that sense. So that's why I decided to give it a chance. Okay, I will review cars in Norway. I will try to get access to the cars I can get access to and talk about them. I have recently been driving 7,000 kilometers in a Seeker 7X. That's a Chinese car, of course, designed in Sweden, but it's a Chinese car. It's built in China. I have driven a ton of other cars, and I want to continue doing that for this channel, but I'm also working for Out of Spec. And why do I work for Out of Spec? Well, it is because I have this advantage of living in Norway and having access to these cars and talk about them and present, for example, Chinese cars to the US so that they can know what they are missing out on. I think freedom of information, it's super important that everyone knows what's going on, regardless of your stance on tariffs or import taxes or even VAT, which is different between European countries, and Norway doesn't have VAT for the sum under 500,000 Norwegian kroners for this value added tax. I know that value added tax isn't the same as a tariff though. So I think it's important to kind of share the information, and I think I'm in a good position there. So that's why the company was started. And how do you start a limited liability company in Norway? Well, you fill out a form and you pay about 200 bucks, and you need a little bit of money in the company itself, and you're good to go. It's very easy. I would say Norway is probably one of the easier countries to start the business. Of course, we have different tax rules, we have some bureaucracy, and we have some issues there, but in general, the startup portion isn't too difficult. And yeah, I'm running my business by selling services to Out of Spec. I'm working for Out of Spec really, and giving reviews and tests of cars that they don't get in the US yeah, I do that. I make reviews, I make test videos, I make bits videos, and I talk about just everything about the cars that we get here that are unique, and share it with mainly American audience, but also European audience of Out of Spec. Both are a large part of their audience, the largest part, of course, European and American audience. And yeah, it's great to be able to share this with Out of Spec. But I also have my own channels. I have this channel, and this channel, this Roaming Norway YouTube channel, is used for my own personal cars and updates, fixes, small things, maybe enhance auto, maybe some Joa gear, maybe some road trips, and you can just look through the videos and you get the kind of theme of what's going on. What's new with Roaming Norway after I made this deal with Out of Spec, making videos for them, is that Roaming Norway will focus more on videos like this, where I update you about my life, about business, about living in Norway, but also talking about electric cars, because it's such an important part of everything. It's the main driver of the business, so it makes sense to talk about electric cars, and I will continue to do so. I will make these kinds of vlogs. I would call them vlogs, video blogs. I don't know what that Capri is doing. He's driving like a maniac. I will make these video blogs, I will make business updates, I will probably also make some reviews and some videos that are similar to the ones I did before. What's different is that Out of Spec reviews will most likely get like the newest, coolest stuff first, and everything will be posted there, and I try to post it on this channel as well, just so that you can go there, and if you want to see my type of review over on Out of Spec, you can see them there. The type of review I do over on Out of Spec is similar to the ones I did earlier on this channel. It is my style of doing reviews, and I'm so grateful that Out of Spec lets me do it my way. I don't need to conform to their style of reviews, even though I feel like we are kind of similar in the like in-depth sense, where we focus on giving the most amount of information and also at the same time presenting like quirks and what makes the cars different, and not just reading specs on a paper. Of course, Kyle is very knowledgeable, very fantastic car reviewer, and someone I really look up to. And yeah, so but we have our different markets. So I am the European presenter, I would say, for Out of Spec reviews. Then I have my Norwegian channel, which is called Effect. And you might think that, okay, effect, that's power in Norwegian, by the way, means that I will basically post the Roaming Norway YouTube videos over on Effect. And that's not really the case. Effect is more like a news source for Norwegian people buying cars, like the Capri in front of us. I had one on a short review in the exact same colorway. I tested it over on Effect, I talked about it, but I didn't post anything on this Roaming Norway YouTube channel. And why didn't I do that? Well, that's because the video was made for Effect and Out of Spec reviews. So one English for Out of Spec reviews, and then one for Effect, which is my Norwegian channel. This channel will kind of focus on a little bit more, not necessarily longer videos, but videos where I talk about doing the car reviews themselves, and also talk about the market development in Norway. We have, the last 6 months, we have had 95% plus market share for electric cars. Absolutely insane. Norwegian cities are reaching 50% EVs on the road. Yep, 50% EVs on the road. Absolutely insane. So a combination of that and that we have the markets that we do. We have available cars from all over the world in Norway. Makes this, I would say, maybe a good plan. We will see. Maybe it's a bad plan. I don't know. So I hope you want to follow the Roaming Norway kind of talks, where I talk about this running a business in Norway and doing car reviews, maybe doing some video blogs while I travel around, like I did. I traveled around to Germany, southern Germany. I have a long road trip in the Seeker 7X that was posted on this channel. What I did on that kind of road trip was actually doing testing for Out of Spec mainly. I did a 10% challenge, I did some research, I did some charging, a ton of different stuff that makes me able to like talk about the car in an in-depth sense for Out of Spec reviews. Then I shared a road trip and my experiences on this channel as well. And I think the combination of the 3 channels that I have is probably a good plan. I think. That's that's why I do it, really. Effect, the Norwegian channel is in Norwegian, of course, and many people will probably think that, okay, it doesn't make sense to make stuff in Norwegian. You have like 6 million people talking Norwegian in the world, less than that actually, probably. And the thing is that the channel is actually doing pretty well. It's doing surprisingly well. And I have a TikTok account and an Instagram account in association with this Effect Norwegian YouTube channel, and they are doing really, really well. So it's clear that the Norwegian audience actually appreciates Norwegian content, even though everyone in Norway is able to understand and really speak English. So it took me a little bit by surprise, but if people are interested, I'm of course willing to make the content. And I have no issues talking Norwegian, of course. Norwegian is the language I have spoken since I could speak, so that's no issue whatsoever. So anyways, let's summarize a little bit. I started a media company in Norway after doing a commodities company and being a computer engineer at the same time. I did go to university for my computer engineer degree. I have a bachelor's degree in computer engineering, which is 3 years. With computer engineering, it's fun. I like to program, but I don't think I want it to be my main work. I would rather just make videos. That's what I have been. I've been making videos since I was like 10 years old. I got my first MacBook many years ago now, and I did so many like family movies and stuff in iMovie on that MacBook, and that's really what I wanted to be. Actually, the thing I wanted to be growing up wasn't like everyone wants to be like a fireman, police, or a nurse, or whatever, or whatever I say. Those are the most important like jobs that we have, but I personally wanted to be a camera operator for like a big media house. A camera operator, not the one doing the editing, not the one doing the talking, not the one sitting in the studio. I wanted to be the camera operator, the one like moving the camera around. That was my dream job. Then I went to a vocational high school, so where I learned about electricity, because I went for the electrician line 1 year. Then I moved over to ICT. Then, thank you Tesla. Then I moved over to like a pre-university course, and then I got my bachelor's degree in computer engineering. And then I worked for a place in Oslo for a few years, and I got tired of working as a computer engineer. Not a bad job, it was pretty fun, but I decided it's time to do something else now, and that's why I tried this media thing. And I'm super grateful that you are watching the videos, you are interacting with the videos, you are commenting and showing engagement, because that really helps me push forward. It really helps me out, and I'm so glad that I am able to do this right now. It's mainly due to Out of Spec, of course. It's not mainly due to my own channels. These channels are still super small in the grand scheme of things, but I think I can improve my videos over time. I can improve my information over time, and I'm pretty confident that I can grow my channel to a substantial size with the help of my audience. And if I'm going to ask for help from my audience, which is you listening to this now, I'm also going to do the best to support my audience. So I am going to listen to comments. I'm going to try to do improvements where improvements are needed. I'm going to review cars that are actually interesting for the vast majority of my viewers. I already tried to do this heavily on my Norwegian channel. Do cars that are popular in Norway, do cars that people actually comment. I read all my comments, and I want to help my audience with the car reviews that they want to see. So if you have anything you want to see, please comment down below, and I will take that into heavy consideration for my next videos, because I owe my audience everything. You have been absolutely fantastic, commenting and showing engagement. Of course, I don't expect people to comment if I don't answer, so I try to answer most of the questions that come in the comments, and that's the only thing I ask for right now for my channel. I could do like a membership and stuff, but I feel like I'm too small for doing a membership. Of course, that would really help settle in everything for myself. I don't get rich doing this at all, and but I want to make it a stable income and stuff. So that's the only thing I ask you to do, is to watch the videos that you are interested in that I post. Comment down below if you see anything you want to improve. Wow, this hurts on 21-inch Uber turbines on this Tesla Model Y Performance. And yeah, I hope that you want to continue watching Roaming Norway, and that the videos are interesting and not just filler content. I hope you are genuinely interested in the videos, and I promise that I will supply all the content that is interesting for you to listen to. And this video is based on pure feedback from the last video, where I talked about the business thing. And yeah, same here, I'm talking more about the business. I am supplying new information about business and stuff. So thank you so much for watching Roaming Norway, and you will see me in another video very soon.